Hey, I'm Brian Reckless. I'm the technical coordinator at the Carrboro Film Fest, and I got to sit down and interview Leo Hodson, writer and star of Sit Down Comedian. That's one of the short films you can see this year at the Carrboro Film Fest, and I'm really excited about it. Sit Down Comedian is a 6-minute single shot film, so that means that the entire thing happens in real time with no editing, no cuts, which you can imagine that's pretty difficult. But after 10 hours and 19 takes, they got what they wanted. So you can see this film at the Best Form of Therapy film block at carborofilm.org. But right now, I hope you enjoy my conversation with Leo Hodson. So let's talk about Sit Down Comedian.
The director and I, Brent Clark, we met, and over the last 3 years or so, we've been collaborating, and we probably created anywhere from 12 to 15 short collection series about my perspective, my life, scenarios between myself and friends, myself and romantic interests. And we thought we wanted to make something that we could just get done.
So how did you and Brent get to work together? What kind of led to this happening here?
So I was actually performing in Chapel Hill for Carolina's Funniest Comic Competition, and Brent came up to me after the show and told me that he just thought I was really talented, really funny, and he really liked my perspective. And then he asked me if I was into film, and I that's like one of my biggest passions besides doing stand-up comedy. I love making movies. So that's how we met.
What's it like taking material you've worked on as a stand-up bit and then trying to write it into film, like in a real script? Like, what's that transition like?
It's like trying to make a puzzle and see if the pieces fit. Um, Within our short film, there are a lot of jokes that I've written in the past and weave them in. But there also is a lot of new material that we made while creating the short. When performing in the room of the film, the feedback I get was from the director, and from the crew. And then I get to find out, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? What can I do better? On stage, you only get that one shot, and then it's done. And then there's the next night, the next open mic, the next performance.
Sit Down Comedian is all one take. It's like just over 6 minutes of one take, no cuts, no editing in there. What was that process like?
Well, it was challenging, especially because in the beginning of the film, I'm standing, and I deal with blood pressure issues. And when we first started, I was ready to go, and we had to take some stops, some breaks, and I had to get my blood pressure right, and then go at it again. Um, but I remember being so excited because as a filmmaker, I love one takes. Brent loves one takes, and it's the challenge, but it's also you don't blink. You're watching the screen, and yeah, it was exciting.
Yeah, I loved it because it gives the audience a real chance to connect with your personality that they would see on stage. I feel like you've got this slower deadpan delivery sometimes it's really fun, and I liked that it was a chance for the audience to see that as they would see it if they actually saw you doing comedy, which is I thought was really cool. Cool. I wanted to ask about why do you think it's important for people who have disabilities, physical disabilities, to be telling their own stories, making their own art in a way that people can see them and see what their thought process is on their story, and why is that important to you to do?
Well, my perspective is different than others, um, which makes my comedy different. It's it's a realness to it. I have some dark comedy, but the perspective, you're just not going to get it anywhere else. So people with disabilities, whether it's comedy, film, art, it's going to be unique.
Yeah. So, what does it mean to you when you see other actors on screen that have a physical disability? Is that important to you? Like, what does that representation mean to you and to like the people you know?
I remember, I mean, I was, my disability, I first became disabled in 2009. And when that was roughly at the time that Glee came on, and I remember thinking, was that actor really disabled, the one in the chair? And then it turned out he was like walking in an episode, and it devastated me. And I was just like, man, there's so many disabled actors out there who deserve um, their opportunity to shine, to show what they can do. And I think it's just there's so many out there. When I see a disabled actor and I see them in their element, it feels great. I get so happy for them, and whether that's behind the camera or in front of the camera, it feels good.
That's awesome. Well, I'm really glad that Sit Down Comedian is in the Carrboro Film Fest this year. And we're super excited to have you here with us for this interview. So thank you so much.
I thank you, really thank you for accepting us and highlighting it, and we couldn't be more grateful. And so, thanks.
Leo Hodson, Sit Down Comedian, can be seen in the Best Form of Therapy film block at the Carrboro Film Festival 2020.